Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that your entire life could begin to change today? Not because your circumstances suddenly improve, not because luck finally finds you, and not because the world becomes easier, but because you make one simple decision, the decision to change your mind. Think about that for a moment. Every breakthrough in history began with a new way of thinking. Every great invention, every inspiring leader, every extraordinary achievement, it all began in the invisible world of the mind before it ever became reality. The greatest prison is not built with walls. It is built with limiting beliefs. Many people spend years waiting for life to change. They wait for better opportunities, better relationships, more money, more confidence. But they overlook the one thing that creates every lasting transformation, the way they think. Ladies and gentlemen, your mind is like a garden. Every thought is a seed. If you plant seeds of fear, doubt, anger, and negativity, you cannot expect to harvest confidence, peace, and success. But if you plant thoughts of gratitude, possibility, courage, and hope, your life begins to bloom in remarkable ways. Life always reflects what is growing within you. The question is simple. What are you planting every single day? Many people unknowingly repeat the same limiting story throughout their lives. I'm not talented enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. I've failed too many times. I'm not lucky. These thoughts may feel true because they have been repeated for years, but repetition does not create truth. It creates habit, and habits can be changed. One empowering thought practiced every day can eventually replace years of self-doubt. That is how transformation begins. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most powerful truths you can ever understand is this: you are not trapped by your past. Your past has shaped you. It has taught you. It has challenged you. But it does not have the authority to define your future. The moment you choose a different belief, you begin walking a different path. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone represents an old fear, an old regret, an old disappointment. As long as you continue carrying them, every step becomes more difficult. But the moment you decide to put the backpack down, something incredible happens. You discover how light you were always meant to feel. Changing your mind often begins with letting go. Let go of resentment. Let go of comparison. Let go of the need to control everything. Let go of the belief that you are not enough. These thoughts do not protect you. They imprison you. Freedom begins when you release them. Ladies and gentlemen, another life-changing principle is gratitude. The human mind naturally notices problems. It searches for what is missing. It focuses on what could go wrong. Gratitude interrupts that pattern. It teaches your mind to notice what is already beautiful. A healthy breath, a loving family, a friend who believes in you, the opportunity to begin again. The more grateful you become, the richer your life feels, not because everything becomes perfect, but because your perspective changes. And perspective changes everything. Now think about fear. Fear often convinces people to remain exactly where they are. It whispers, what if you fail? What if people judge you? What if it doesn't work? But rarely does fear ask, what if you succeed? What if this decision changes your life? What if your greatest opportunity is waiting on the other side of courage? Fear speaks loudly. Wisdom speaks quietly. Listen carefully to that quiet voice within you. It has been guiding you all along. Ladies and gentlemen, every challenge carries a hidden invitation. Some challenges teach patience. Some teach resilience. Some teach compassion. Others teach faith. Without challenges, many of your greatest strengths would remain undiscovered. The obstacle is often preparing you for the opportunity. Do not resist every difficult season. Sometimes life is shaping you into the person capable of receiving the future you desire. Another important truth is this: you become what you consistently focus on. If your attention remains on limitations, you will notice more limitations. If your attention remains on opportunities, your awareness expands. The world may remain exactly the same, but your experience of the world changes completely because your thoughts shape your perception, and perception shapes your reality. Imagine waking up tomorrow with one simple commitment. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask, what can this teach me? Instead of saying, I can't, you begin saying, I'll learn. Instead of expecting failure, you begin expecting growth. These small shifts seem insignificant, but repeated daily, they create extraordinary lives. Ladies and gentlemen, never underestimate the power of one new thought. One thought can inspire a new habit. One habit can transform your character. One transformed character can change your destiny. Every remarkable life begins with a remarkable decision. The decision to think differently. You don't need permission to become a better version of yourself. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You only need the courage to believe in yourself. Because the greatest transformation you will ever experience does not begin when the world changes. It begins when your mind changes. So beginning today, choose hope instead of fear. Choose gratitude instead of complaint. Choose courage instead of doubt. Choose possibility instead of limitation. Protect your thoughts. Feed your mind with wisdom. Surround yourself with people who inspire growth. And remember this timeless truth. When you change your mind, you change your choices. When you change your choices, you change your habits. When you change your habits, you change your life. Everything you desire begins with one decision. The decision to think differently. Thank you.